Welcome back, guys. So today I have a very special video for you all because I've read both of David Goggins' books, and this man, you've probably seen him on social media telling you to stay hard or do more, but there's something so incredible about the way this guy's mind works. So after reading these books, there's 5 lessons that I want to share with you all that I've applied in my life that have changed everything for me. And if you want more money, more momentum, more ambition and drive to succeed and get the life you want and you deserve, these are the only 5 lessons you need that will apply wherever you are currently in your process. Stay till the very end because lesson 5 has made me more money than any self-help or finance book I've ever read. Let's get into it. Lesson 1 is learn how to take souls. This is so counterintuitive to the way I looked and perceived life through, but it changed everything for me, my whole reality. It made me so much more stronger mentally that I can achieve anything I set my mind to. And this is what I mean by taking souls. David says that when you feel you've given your 100%, there's 60% more left in the tank that is in reserve that you don't even know. By taking souls, you can tap into that additional 60% when you've given up. It's crazy to think that way, but we as a generation are very soft. We don't know what hard work feels like. I mean, you'd think you may know, but there's a lot more there's left to give. So taking souls was this idea he came up with during Hell Week. And this is a very physically intensive, laborious week. It's the toughest thing any human can put themselves through. But more than physical, because physical will give out at some point, it's mental. It's how can you keep going when the situation gets tougher than you can possibly imagine. So during this Hell Week, there were instructors demanding him to do more push-ups, pull-ups, whatever they could do to break the person down. They would put them in cold water, have them just do these crazy tasks for hours on end until people would give up, fall like flies. When people's bodies were giving out around him, he would get nervous. He would get scared. Like, is this something I can even do? His legs are shaking. His self-talk is saying, dude, you're crazy. Just give up. What's the point of this? And that's when he would start taking someone's soul. He would see the instructor's face who's demanding them to do these tasks. And sometimes they'd even smile because they're getting pleasure out of someone else's torture. And what he would use that is an opportunity to decide how he wants to react in that situation. Is he going to give the instructor the satisfaction that David Goggins himself is going to give up? He's going to throw in the white flag and leave. Or is he going to take their soul? Meaning just when this instructor thinks he's going to give up, when he can't do any more push-ups, he's going to stare at the guy. And instead of having a bad face that he's giving up, he's going to smile, stare at them, and then do more push-ups with even perfect form. Whatever he's doing even better. If the guy says do 100, he's going to do 101. And this is after he's given up. Because the look on that guy's face, when like, dude, this guy's from a different planet. Like, this is crazy. I never saw this coming. That is the ultimate human freedom we have. Viktor Frankl talks about this in his book, Man's Search for Meaning, where it was a really crazy story and it's a true story. But one of the things he talks about is he was in the Holocaust and going through the worst atrocities humans have ever faced, that those people can strip everything away from you. They can take your pride, they can take your family, they can take your clothes and food. But the one thing that people can't take from you is the way you react in a given situation. There's 2 parts that happen to us. There's an impulse and the way we react. Within that gap, there's human freedom. People can tell you things, people can hurt you, people can do whatever you want, but there's a freedom that humans innately have is how you react to the situation. Are you gonna give in? Are you gonna quit? Are you gonna be upset? Are you gonna be sad? Or are you gonna fight back? Are you gonna be someone who smiles at fear itself in its face and then say, bring whatever's coming, man, because you don't even know who you're dealing with? And it doesn't have to be physical. That's the way I implemented in my life. Because a lot of times other people around you are always testing you. They're giving you tasks. Your boss can throw a bunch of work at you last minute. How are you gonna react? Are you gonna crib? Are you gonna cry? Are you gonna be upset and frustrated? Or are you gonna smile and say thank you and do the work so perfectly that even this guy's taken aback? That's what taking soul is. Doing whatever you're supposed to do to the best and perfect outcome, even when in the situation, it doesn't even seem possible. Because that is when you unlock that 60% you have when you think you're already given up and you're tapped out. Lesson 2 is discipline beats motivation every single time. In neuroscience, we call motivation like a monkey because it's so unpredictable. Some days you're gonna have high motivation and you're gonna go on their run. And some days you have low motivation, so why would you hit the gym? The thing is, these days, with influencers and gurus and constant YouTube motivational videos trying to get us to do something, we're locked in that motivation is the missing key and ingredient to why we are the way we are, why we're stuck in life. But there's never gonna be a perfect time to achieve that goal, to do what you're going to do. If you're always looking for the right time, the right feeling, you're never gonna be successful. And that's why so many people are trapped. They feel stuck, they can't move forward. Every time they spin the wheels, they're just busy being busy, but they're not actually getting progress towards their goals. The only way to defeat motivation is through discipline. And this is largely David Goggins' philosophy in a nutshell. It's doing things that are hard even when you don't feel like doing them. It's being a man of your word, knowing that you said you're gonna go to the gym this morning and do it anyway, even when you don't feel like it. That is what discipline is. It's not waiting for the perfect feeling or the time, or you drink your pre-workout, or you slept only 6 hours last night so you're not gonna go. Excuses are excuses, that's it. Discipline is doing it anyway. Discipline creates consistency, and consistency over time creates habits, and habits compound. That is why the best people in the world have just totally different habits than us. That's really what it comes down to. Change, real change, comes when daily wins are compounded over time. It's called the art of day stacking, because great mornings lead to great days lead to great weeks, great weeks lead to great months, years, and then when you look back 5 years ago, you'll be a completely different person. However, I feel like in today's society, we need to make big changes and then broadcast it to social media. Hey, I'm gonna run a marathon, even though I've never ran before. I'm gonna go read 20 books this year. I'm gonna meditate for 100 minutes a day. That is not realistic, and those changes don't compound over time, because you're only gonna do it for a day, maybe 2, but when that motivation wanes, you're gonna stop doing it immediately. So stop waiting for the right time or right feeling to do something. If you make a commitment to yourself, treat it like a doctor's appointment and show up for yourself. That's how over time you build self-confidence, and self-confidence is what makes you be better at every single aspect of life. So install discipline right now, because consistency will always beat motivation. Lesson 3 is learn to play the infinite game. That means doing things without any expectation return, but doing them long enough till you see the actual result. For example, going to the gym, you may not get in shape in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months. But over time you will. And also the infinite game means there is no destination. Once you get in shape, doesn't mean you're just gonna stop working out. Infinite game means you're going to do whatever you said regardless, for as long as it takes to get the results. In our society, we want an instant reward. We want to do something, we want to get those dopamine hits right away. We post a picture, we want 100 likes right away. But reality does not work that way. This YouTube channel, for example, I'm playing the infinite game. I know I won't be getting millions of subscribers within the first year, 2, 3, even 4 years maybe. But as long as I'm playing the infinite game, meaning I'm gonna post 2 to 3 videos every single week for as long as it takes to get to that result, I'm gonna win. Because you can't beat someone who's in it for the long run regardless of when things get tough. You have to play the infinite game if you want to succeed in life, regardless of what that is, whether it's in wealth, health, love, or happiness. If you want a relationship, you're playing the infinite game. You're not just going to take your girl on a date and then suddenly she's gonna be happy. This is something you're continuously working on. Lesson 4 is to hold yourself accountable by asking yourself every single night, did I do enough? And being honest with yourself. This question has had such a profound impact on my life, and it actually made me start journaling every single night to ask, did I do enough? What could I have done to improve better? We don't ever like to look at ourselves under a magnifying glass because we don't want to see the imperfections or the mistakes we made. But it's that change that can help us to become better. Because masters don't just do what they need to do. They always do 1 more. If you went in to do 10 pull-ups, do 11 pull-ups. If you had more in the tank, do 12. You have to be honest with yourself, and that's the only way you're going to be able to succeed in this life. So every single night, journal or just talk to yourself and say, did I do enough? Did I really do enough? Did I really need to overeat that day? Did I really need to push myself? Did I really need to do that? And some days you will say yes, but it's by holding yourself accountable, because only you know if you actually had enough in the tank and you did what you're supposed to. This can also just apply to your work life. Could you have put more hours in? Could you have made that email just a bit better? You don't have to get like too crazy with it. It's just knowing who you are and what you can do, and making sure that by asking this question every night, the next day you'll see, you start trying to do more. You start trying to be more just by asking this question, because you know it's going to come at the end of the night. So it's small, but it changes over time. But it's the mentality that moves you from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. A growth mindset is where real success happens. And that means taking responsibility for everything you have in life. In NLP, which is neuro-linguistic programming, this is the first lesson we teach our clients, that there's a line. You can be above the line or below the line. Below the line meaning you just take excuses as real. Anything that's happened to you in life, you blame others. Oh, I'm out of shape because my parents made me this way. Or I'm like this because that person made me do this. Or I'm like that because I have this disability. Being below the line and pointing fingers at everyone else will keep you stuck and trapped in a cycle of despair. If you want to take it to the next step, you want to be someone who has the ability to change your life, you have to be above the line, meaning you have to growth mindset. And the only way you can start is by taking responsibility for every single thing that has happened to you in life, regardless of how good or bad it is. And I know you're gonna immediately start saying, Sid, but what about that one thing that happened in my childhood, or one thing, everything. You have to take responsibility for everything in your life because you have to take power over your own life for yourself. That's the only way you can begin to change. I can't change others. I can't change my past. I can't change my history. So if you always use that as a crutch, you'll never be able to move forward in life. By taking responsibility, saying it's in my control. It happened to me because of me. I am the sole reason for my purpose and existence and all the mistakes and successes I've had in life. Then you can actually do something about it because you're starting from a place of growth. And lesson 5 is to put your 100% effort into just one thing. We often get mesmerized by shiny object syndrome. We start reading books and we're like, oh, we need to do that. We need to start this side hustle. Then I'm gonna start working out. Then I'm also gonna meditate. And then on top of that, I'm also gonna do really good in my business and I'm gonna find a girlfriend. That's not how reality works. If you start trying to do 20 things at once, you're gonna fail in all of them, or at least you won't even be as good as all of them as if you put all your effort into one thing. Trust me, I used to be the same way. At one point, I was proud that I had 5 side hustles. I had 5 businesses, 5 LLCs, and a full-time job. And I was also living in New York City. I just moved there, and I was trying to get in the best shape. I thought it was awesome. But guess what? None of those 5 businesses succeeded. I had to close all of them eventually. And I kept trying to hold on for dear life to each and every single one of them. But it's just a matter of fact, you only have so many hours in a day, so much mental bandwidth to apply to something. And it changed my life when I read this because it made so much sense. If I took all the hours I was spending on 5 different companies and applied it just to one company, imagine how successful that would be. But instead, I was left with 5 unsuccessful companies, and I could have changed my reality if I just focused on one thing. And it's tough, especially with tiny object syndrome. We want to try and do everything, and that's fair. But know and prioritize what are hobbies and what is something you're absolutely 100% committed to with no fucking doubt. That is the only way you'll be able to grow and build something that lasts a lifetime. So take inventory this week and realize, where is your time going? Where is your energy going? And prioritize, what is the one thing I want to focus on this year? And it can be this quarter, it can be this month, but as long as you know what you're prioritizing, everything else becomes so much more clear. Because instead of trying to do everything half-ass, you're gonna do one thing and actually succeed at it. And that can be for you at the moment, getting the best shape of your life. That can be in the moment, getting really good at your business or your job or whatever that is for you. Find what is that one thing that you need to absolutely focus on, laser in, and make that your ultimate priority. And that's it, bro. I mean, this book has really changed my life. There's so many more lessons I can go into, the accountability mirror, the cookie jar. If you want a part 2 on this video, let me know in the comments below. But seriously, man, I would urge you to go grab the book, even on Audible, because he actually speaks it. That's how I listen to it. I'll put a link in the description box below. Give me a big kickback. So I appreciate you if you want to support this channel using the link. But seriously, man, I want to thank you and thank you. If you got any value from this video at all, it means the world to me. If you hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications bell, and just drop me one of these likes, bro. It helps me a ton. It takes 1 second of your time, but let's help each other grow, right? And unless the YouTube algorithm push my video out so more people can benefit from videos like these. And guys, go stay hard. I'll loop up 2 more mindset videos of mine. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Appreciate you all.